Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to do the use the Grid Designer digitizer to scan in a previously printed project. Let's say that you had printed a project out and then somehow the project got deleted and you don't have anything but the printing of that project. And this also could be used if you have projects that were created by another tool and you want to take a printout of something that you had and you want to scan that back in and take the pattern and put it into Grid Designer so that you can do something with that. So it could be used for that. Okay, so we're going to go to Project, Create from Image here. And I have a particular printout. What you need is if you have it in paper form, you need to take a photo of it, digitized photo of it, so that you have an image file that has the pattern in it. So let's open this up. This is a baby stocking. This is the bottom of a baby stocking design. And I'm going to just click on the crop button here because the first thing that we need to do if we're going to try and put this back in, I want to basically get the pattern off of this printout, off of this image. And I want to recreate the pattern inside of Grid Designer. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to crop whatever picture you've got so that you have only the grid. So I'm going to just move this down here. And I'm going to try and put the skinny lines right on top of the, right on top of the chart here. And I want to crop off the numbers and any background parts so that we have only the grid. Okay, you can do this in Grid Designer, using the crop tool here, or you can do it in another application, like if you're on Windows, you could use Microsoft Paint or something like that to crop this exactly to as close as you can get to the edges of just the grid that we're concerned about. We don't want any numbering or any white stuff around the outside of it. So I'm going to click on crop here and I'm going to go back into crop just to kind of check how well I've cropped it. That's probably okay. There's a little bit up at the top, but I think it'll be okay. Let's see how this works. Okay, then we're going to go over to here and we're going to pick out a palette that we want to put this into. So let's see. We need to have something that's going to have some light blue and whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and pick Red Art Super Saver because I'm most familiar with that palette. And I know there's definitely a light blue and a white in there. Okay. And we're gonna, in this particular thing, you wanna set the, I have only two colors in this pattern, so I'm gonna set this value to 2. That's not gonna get you what you want yet. We have some other things we have to do first. We're gonna go to grid size. And here we can just put in the number of cells that we want to go across and up and down and digitize it like that. But you can also put the project type in. So I'm going to go in here and select knitting, and you can pick your gauge or put your gauge in there. So we're going to make a knitting project for this. And now in order to get a picture, we have a couple other things we still have to do. We have to set this value in here to the exact value, the exact number of cells that go across in this picture. And I've already counted those, and that number is 62. And then I have to set this bottom number. It actually calculated it correctly. But that's because the gauge that I'm using here is the same gauge that's in the picture. In a lot of cases, you'll have to turn off this keep aspect ratio and actually type in, the other number, the 28 here. Okay. So for me, that just is a lucky coincidence that the gauge that I put in is the same gauge that I used when I created the project. But in a lot of cases, you'll have to put these two numbers in separately, you'll have to turn off this keep aspect ratio thing. Okay, then, but it's good to set do the define units and stuff because that will kind of set your project type on the output side. That'll tell you what you want to go to. So this is going to go into knitting. But you could take this pattern and I could pick, just square cells or something like that, or I could go into something else, and the output of it would then be more squared off instead of knitting size cells, which are kind of short and wide. You could turn it into something where you're just getting the squares. Okay, and now the digitization type is very important. So this starting out with smooth, which is not going to work for this. So we need to pick sharp, or the other one you can pick here is block. Okay, and if you have an initial pattern over here and it has symbols written, like little letters written inside of each of the little cells over here on this side, then block is better to use. It won't get it every single time if you've got symbols written and all these things. It may come up with kind of some odd colors over here, but you could still get it done and then substitute colors, to finish it. But it works much better if the cells are empty and have only color in them. In that case, you can use both sharp or block. But I guess what I'm trying to say is if you have symbols in the squares here, block should work better because it uses more of the data in the cell. And so it it hopefully will find the color around the around any symbol that's written in there. Not 100%, but should do better if you have symbols to use block. Okay, all right, so now we go back to our palette. Now we picked two before, so we're going to get white and blue this time because now we've got all of our cells lined up. That's very important to get the cells lined up and to pick the digitization type of either sharp or block, and then you can get your pattern back. So now we say create project, okay? And now we have basically our project here, and we can then save that, and go on and edit it or whatever we want to do with it. Okay, so that is how you can use the digitizer to reload a pattern so that you can use it. Okay, and that's about it for this video. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.